Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Today we're going to be doing, I saw it on Pinterest, and this is my third attempt to try to start this video because every time I try to start it, I think of something that I forgot. So hopefully I now have everything within reach, but I'm not going to promise. I'm just looking at my hands. I have broken a nail today and I have ink all over me and everything else where I've been working, so I apologize for that. But we're going to do a make. Let me get my iPad on here. We're going to do something for this one, and it is from the Little Shabby shed.blogspot.com, and it's this cute little, I think this is actually a panel. It may be a journal cover. Let's see if I go to here, if it'll go to the website. No, it just brings up the more like this thing, so that's not going to help us any. Barbara Hyatt is who posted this, but I'm not sure if she is the maker or not. But I'm sure you could go to that blog spot and see more about this particular pen. So I am going to, this is kind of going to be a video. My metal pieces are sticking to the back of my iPad here. Dedicated to my mom, because Mother's Day is coming up, and my mom, who is no longer with us. And it is also going to be the cover for my hashtag nothing but neutral journal that I'm going to make to do my work for that in. And it's also kind of a no digitals allowed because I'm not using any digitals in this. So this video is going to cover a lot of the things that I've been working on all in one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this video on Wednesday, which is normally the no digitals allowed. So on Thursday, instead of doing the I saw it on Pinterest, I'm going to be putting together the journal that I'm going to use for the new challenge. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. So, like I said, I think I have everything that I need to make this. You can see that it has lots of parts and pieces, but I'm not going to swear to it, and I may have to reach for, or get something that's beyond my reach. So, let's get started. And like I said, I am doing this as a journal cover. So my first piece that I have is this piece of digital. Oh, I do have one digital. So it's not technically totally digital free, but this is the only digital that I have in the make, and it is going to be put on the book cover that I'm going to use to make my journal, which is this book cover. And I do like this cover, but I want to put this kind of peeling paint on the front, which is by Amy at Crafty Cat. So I'm going to put this on the front cover instead of what is there. And you can see this is a Portuguese history of grammar, it looks like, if I had to take I don't know how to speak Portuguese, obviously. But it's a really cool cover, and very old. And I'm using the pages in other journal makes, and so I want to use the cover for my neutral journal. And I'm thinking I'm going to round the corners on this because the corners on the book are rounded. And I may trim it down. Let's round the corners first and see what we have. I kind of want that beigey color to be showing all the way around. Do I want to, if I do it right here is where yeah, I'm going to take just a little bit off of that. I thought I had it where I wanted it, but I think I want it just a little smaller. So I hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm filming this on Tuesday, like I said, so I can post it for Wednesday. We're supposed to have really bad storms tomorrow, so I'm trying to get it done, just in case, you know, I lose power or something tomorrow. I can not be fretting about it not being finished. All right, so let's ink that up. I'm gonna use Vintage Photo and just put some color on the edges, and then we'll glue it down to the book. And that'll give us our background. This kit, the name of this kit is Peeling Paint and Roses. And like I said, it is Amy with Crafty Cat on Etsy. And these are actual, if I'm not mistaken, actual photographs that she took from a building that had the peeling paint on it. Okay, so we're going to start with that. Get my glue book here. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having troubles getting everything together for this one, but I am. And I just used regular printer paper for this because I didn't want it to be too thick. And that is over way too far. Let's try it again. Okay. Still not totally even, but that's okay. My journal, I can live with that. And I'm actually gonna take my little sanding tool. And kind of sand the edges a little bit. Pardon my reach. Because it wouldn't be my journal unless it's a little grungy. Another is the reason that I love to go to flea markets and garage sales, estate sales, antique shops. She was very much into all that, especially the flea markets and the antique stores. She's very much a junker. My very first memories are going to, at that point in my life that I can, you know, first start to remember things. We were stationed in Paris, or right outside Paris, Dreux Air Force Base in France, and we would, on the weekends, go to all the flea markets and the antique stores there. And then we would go on picnics just alongside the road somewhere and just pull off and have a picnic. And my mama had always packed a picnic lunch with an old kind of retro looking tablecloth just thrown out on the ground. And her and my dad would have a thermos of coffee, and we would just picnic. I had my little lunchbox, you know, that had my little snacks in it. So that's a very fond memory. Okay, so next we have to make our second tag. And I'm going to make it with this book page, which is a very old book page. And it is about, this particular one is about Robert Louis Stevenson and his writing. And this particular page talks about Robinson Crusoe. And my mother was an avid reader. She read more than any person that I've ever known in my life. She probably read 5 or 6 books a week, at least 5 or 6 books a week. So, yeah, this is kind of appropriate to make the second tag out of. Is a vintage book page. After she retired, she was a nurse, and after she retired, she actually had an online bookstore for used books, and that's what she did, you know, just to have something to do. She didn't have to do that, but just to have a hobby. Alright, so I think I'm going to trim this down. Right a little bit wider than the print. I'll put it and just cut that. This is my mom, and this is probably, she's probably a tween in this picture, I would say. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. All right, so let's cut our angles and put our hole in here and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, and somewhere I have cut out, I have a whole pile of stuff over here, guys. A hole reinforcer, but using a Tim Holtz die. And I'm going to put it on with art glitter glue. And this is cut out of like a cardboard box because I wanted it to be a little thicker and I wanted it to be craft colored. So, put this hopefully kind of in the center. And then I'm going to take my little hole punch and poke the hole. If I get it in the right spot. I can't see it. Ah, I missed. I'm just messing that all up. Let me see if I can do it with the pokey tool. Option number 3. I'm doing it with the crocodile. Let me get, I don't have a lot of light in here today because it's very cloudy. There we go. That's close enough. So I'm going to put a string in there. Okay, I'm going to ink around the edges. I'm going to take a piece of this vintage string. Now, the one on Pinterest doesn't have a string, but I think they just look weird sometimes without one, so I'm going to put one on there. I may end up taking it back off, but for now, I'm going to put it on there, in there. Alright, and then up on the corner, they have like a little clip. I don't have the exact clip they have, but I'm going to use this little Tim Holtz clip and put it right there. And then they have a vintage stamp underneath it, and I have one of those somewhere right here. Actually, let me take this back off and slide it back up there and then put it back on. Probably easier. Okay, and let's do some stamping. They have, it looks like washi tape. Actually, let me figure out. Alright, so picture's going to go right there, and it is stitched around. So I think I need to go and stitch around this whole tag, which means I need to take this back off. So I need to stitch around this, and I need to stitch around this, and then I need to stitch around my little tag with a butterfly. I need to stitch around the butterfly. So I'm going to pause you and go do that, and then I will be right back, because I think it's going to be easier to do it in 3 separate parts and then glue it all together, if that makes sense. So give me just a minute. Okay, I am back, and I just went around everything a couple of times so that we have some kind of messy stitching going on. And I'm actually going to ink it a little bit so you can see it, because I have kind of an off-white thread. And I just left everything kind of stringy. I moved you in a little bit now that the iPad's out of the way, so hopefully you can see a little better what we're doing. Alright, so this tag has the picture on it, and it has a paper clip, one of the mini paper clips, which I think I have one of those laying over here in my stack up here in the corner. And then it has I'm going to put a stamp here, or a rubber stamp here, but I don't know what I want to put yet. So I'm going to put the picture on, and then I'll decide. Now, at the bottom of the picture, it has some film strip, Tim Holtz film strip, and I've already kind of prepared this. I just took a piece of the film strip, and then I put some rub-ons on it from this male, Tim Holtz male rub-ons. I just took some numbers and things and put on it. And it is paper clipped, or it gives the appearance of being paper clipped to the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper clip on there, and then I'm going to wrap it around the tag and attach it so that it looks like it is paper clipped on when in actuality it's going to be attached. Alright, so let's get that in place, and then I'm going to glue down my photo. And I'm going to use art glitter glue since we have those paper clips. And then hopefully I'm going to be able to wrap this around. Like that. And then I'm going to take just a piece of masking tape, because eventually this is going to be glued to the page. Again, pardon the reach. Oops, glued to the page. Alright, so there is that in place. Now, our tag needs to be glued on our page. And in the Pinterest pin, there are, flip back around please. Oh, now you're going to be difficult. Some cogs here and a button. And I'm going to use just buttons, just because that's what I prefer. I pulled out some cogs and I put them on there and I looked at them, and then I did it with just buttons, and I preferred just the buttons. So I'm gonna use which ones did I decide that I liked? I think this one and this one, and then this one underneath, I think is what I decided. Kind of like that. Okay, so in order for that to work correctly, I'm going to have to put some foam tape underneath the tag to lift it up high enough to get the buttons under there, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to decide if I want to use just the dots. No, I think I'm going to use strips. And I've got these strips here. So we'll put those on real quick. So you can see this is more appropriate for either a journal cover or just a standalone piece of art, because it is going to be quite bulky to put inside of a journal. Okay, let's see if that will give us enough clearance now to get my buttons underneath there. Yeah, this one's a little thick. I might be able to do something. Might help if I don't put foam where the button's going, huh? I'll trim that back just a little bit. Alright, now where'd my big one go? Yeah, that's much better. And then my gray one. In the corner here. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to stick the tag down first. And then I will stick the buttons up under there. Checking to make sure I get it a little straight. And I'm pulling it to one side because we have the key and stuff that's going over there. Alright, so that's all stuck down good, and now I'm going to put my buttons on. I'm going to use 3-in-1 for that, or Faber-Tac, beacon glue. And I'm going to stick that one there. And that one there. And that one in the corner. Alright, so far so good. Now, I did not have the kind of pull that those are showing. I normally have some of these, but I did not in my stash. But I have this book plate, so I'm going to use this book plate, and I'm going to put it right down here. Actually, do I want it all the way to the bottom? No, I think I'm going to put it on the tag just a little bit. They have theirs all the way to the bottom, and then they have this found objects thing down underneath that, and I'm leaving that part off because I don't particularly care for it, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to put this book plate on here and make it a tag holder, and that's where this little tag is going to go. I've already put like a piece of cardstock on the back, and the tag's going to go right down in there like that. Okay. So, I think I'm going to put another little piece of string in that tag. And this one I'm going to put just through there single, and then I'm going to tie a knot, I hope. I should have cut it longer so I could manipulate my fingers well enough to get a knot in there, but I think I can do it. Hopefully. There we go. So that will go not like that. Like that. Do I want it all the way down? I think I am going to pull it up under the tag as far as I can. And I'm going to glue that with Fabri-Tac as well. Just because it's a little stronger. Okay, next step. Let's see. So we've got our key, and I have two options. This one I don't think is going to be long enough. I don't mind that one. And then I have this one. I like that one too. And for the little hang thing on there that they have, I don't have an initial, but I have this little religious medal that I got in Paris, and I have one of the little pins that they have. And they have just a little piece of yarn or something like that. So that would be one thing that I did not grab. Let me see if I've got something close by, like a little piece of something. Got some fabric, but I don't know if I can get it. I've got this. Do I want that? No, I do not. I do not. I have a piece of sari silk here. I'm going to use that. Let's see what color. That just kind of a neutrally color. So we're going to tie it through the top, and actually I'm going to put this through. I think this is actually through the, yeah. So I'm going to put this through here first. Am I driving you crazy? I'm driving me crazy trying to get that in there. My threader's over by the sewing machine, or I would use it. Okay. See if I can get the other one through there. I thought it would be too difficult doing them both at the same time, but it may have been actually easier. All right, now I'm gonna just tie that around this. The other key is older, but it's just not long enough, I don't think. Oh my goodness. This is turning into quite the ordeal here. I did a bunch of pussycatting the other night, and my hands have not recovered yet, and so I feel like I'm working with a handful of thumbs that don't work right. Feel free to fast forward, because if I was watching this, it would drive me nuts. Trying to watch somebody do this. Okay. So I got that. And then the pin was just kind of pinned on there. Like that. And then the key is just kind of glued somewhere in that general vicinity. I really need to put better crease in that film strip. There, that's better, because it's making my other tag pop up, and I don't like that. Alright, that's better. Alright, so that's gonna go like that. Actually, they have it way down here. Their tag, I think this part is not as big as mine, since I'm doing it for a book cover. I think that's the difference. Alright, so again with the beacon, and this might work better. I mean, it would definitely be quicker to do it with a glue gun. We're going to do this, and if we need to turn on the glue gun, we will. And I'm just going to kind of center it. And I'm trying to go by the edges of the book and not the lines on the paper or on the digital, because the lines on the digital are not straight. They are this way. So I'm trying to do this. So if you look at it like this, it's a lot straighter than if you try to look at the lines of that digital. Okay, now they have an arrow that is sitting right here. I don't care for the arrow, so what I have is I have this pin nib that I got at a flea market in Germany, and so I'm going to put the pin nib right here. Now, in order to attach that, because it has this, you know, kind of scooped hollow back thing, I'm going to put a piece of this foam tape and build it up, and then try to glue it and see if that doesn't help a little bit. And I may have to put a couple pieces in order for it to get thick enough. Yeah, I think it's going to take a double layer, so let me cut another little piece. And so, as I was trying to pull out the things for this, I was trying to pick things that were not only that my mom liked, but that I like to collect when I go to flea markets as well. My mom loved to collect clocks. And so the key, she liked the key kind of thing, and old clocks, you know, that were wound up with the keys, and stuff like that. And then I like these pen nibs, and I like the religious medals, and that kind of thing. And so I was trying to incorporate things that we both like. You know, I am not near the avid reader as she was. As a matter of fact, I don't hardly ever read a book, although I am a very avid Audible user. I listen to a lot of books, especially when I'm crafting. She loved old photographs, of course, old books. I love old photographs, so I feel like this is a good representation of both of us. Alright, so I think we have now all the bits and pieces. There is another pin there, not a pin, a paper clip. So let me see if I can find one more paper clip. That goes here. I don't like, well, I won't say I don't like clocks because I collect vintage alarm clocks, but big clocks. She liked the big mantle clocks, wall clocks, grandfather clocks, that kind of thing. I like pocket watches and alarm clocks. So I have those. Oh, the other thing I wanted to incorporate was this number 13 because her birthday was on the 13th. And this is like an old enamel number that you would see on a house. And I want to put it somewhere. We used to tease her because her birthday was on the 13th. And occasionally, of course, calendar-wise, it would hit on Friday the 13th. And so a lot of times we would tell her, you know, only witches are born on the 13th. And she was also married on her birthday. So their anniversary was also the 13th. My dad was in the military at the time, and she was in nursing school. And so they got married just in my grandparents' home when he was home. For the weekend or, you know, whatever opportunity it was for him to come home. And so they just got married in my grandparents' house, and it was on her birthday. And I'll need some little pins for that. And I know I'm not moving fast enough in this video, but like I said, it has lots of parts and pieces. So I hope you can hear me. I got up and moved to find my little bitty pins. These may be too small. Brads, whatever I'm trying to say. Let me see if these fall through. Nope, they're good. just about everything I need, unless it's just, you know, something that is, you know, what I call my back stock. Not like I have a lot of back stock, but if it's, you know, most of the things I use on a regular basis, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is like within a step of my desk. So hopefully if I ever have to get up and get something, I'm not too far away for too long. My sewing machine, however, is on the other side of the room, so, and plus for those of you that have been following me, you'll know that sewing for journals is a new thing for me. I do not like to sew, and I have made a commitment this year to try to get over that hate of sewing and use sewing more in my journals. And so far, I think I've been pretty good, but I'm still given the opportunity, would rather not sew. It's just so frustrating to me, and I think the part of it that is so frustrating is it's kind of like baking. You have to be spot on. You know, if you're sewing clothes or whatever, and yeah, I don't like that feeling. I feel like it puts too much pressure on me to try to be a perfectionist for something like sewing or baking, and so I don't do a lot of either. However, in junk journaling, you can get by without not sewing perfectly, especially in my style, which, you know, I like the grungy stuff because most of that is not perfection. So I've tried to be really good and do some sewing. What I did there is I put some foam tape, again, to build up that divot in the middle, and then I also used some Fabri-Tac. Where do I want to put this? I think I want it right there. Do I want it? Yep, right there. All right, now all that's left to do is I feel like I need something stamped here and maybe something stamped down here. Do I want to, I think I may glue this tag down because obviously it's not going to be taken out. It's just for looks. But I don't like how it's popping up, and I'm afraid it's going to come out. And I think I'm also going to glue that down right there because that's really getting on my nerves. And it's going to be covered up with the other tag. So let's do that, and then I'll let you guys go, and I'll reserve the stamping until we work on it on Thursday and I have a better idea of what I may really want there as far as the stamping goes. Alright, and so I hope you guys like that. hear me blabbing about my mom. She was not my birth mother. I was adopted at birth. She was a nurse at the time and was in the delivery room when I was born because she was a nurse and the doctor allowed her to be in there. And so, you know, I was born and handed straight to her. My mother said that my birth mother was going through difficulties and could not raise a child, and so her and my dad adopted me, which is really weird because the hubby is also adopted. Similar circumstances, although I think his real mother was related to his adoptive parents, one of them. I'm not sure which, but he and his brother were both adopted by his adoptive parents when they were very young. They were not infants, but they were very young. So, my adoptive parents were the only parents that I ever knew, and I never really cared to know anything about my birth mother, which just goes to, or my dad, real dad for that matter, which just goes to show you what loving parents will do for you. I always have said, and a lot of people feel differently, and I do not have an opinion one way or another, but I have always said about my life, obviously I wasn't missing for something that I needed to go look for, so very grateful for that. So, and I have 2 sisters that I'm also very grateful for. So, anyway, that is my story. Sorry, I'm getting a tickle. Behind the journal cover, and I'm going to take a drink here real quick before I choke to death. Sorry about that. And like I said, when I make the video for Thursday, then we'll put the journal together and get it ready for the new challenge. So let me know what you think. I like it. I love the pen. You know, it's definitely my style. You know, undecided at this point if it needs anything else. I'm kind of, I know it needs stamping. I know it needs something down in this area, and I feel like it may need some kind of stamping there. I may do something with a floral stamp if I can find one. My mother's favorite flowers were a purple iris and a yellow rose. So I may, if I have an iris or something that's not, that doesn't have, that's a neutral, I guess is what I'm trying to say, like a sketch of one or a stamp that has an iris on it, which I'm not sure if I do or not. I may do something like that. I do have a rose stamp that I really like, maybe put that there. That would be kind of cool. But I'm going to debate that. So as of right now, I'm very happy with it. And I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I will see you guys back on Thursday, where we'll put this together. Until then, everybody, have a great evening. Bye.